What up, my man in society? It is your host with the most, Shadow Loke. Make sure you guys tap on the subscribe, the like, make sure you share. It does help my channel get into the algorithm. I would highly appreciate that. You know, it's free, it don't cost anything. Join the madness. Now, what I wanted to talk about was human emotions, right? And the similarity between us and animals, other creatures on this planet. Although humans are the most, alpha creature on this planet, because it seems that we have no limitation to what we can do, or you know the amount of knowledge that we can learn from, and to to what we can create is where we have came as a species is unbelievable. The things that we're able to do compared to before, right? We keep breaking that limitation. It seems like it seems like we have no pinnacle, when it comes to knowledge and what we're able to create and do. While other creatures obviously have a limitation to their to what they're able to do, right? To what they're able to understand, right? Um, so we're the dominant ones here on this planet when it comes to knowledge. Obviously, not in strength or in hunting abilities and stuff like that. But I mean in learning, right? It's what we do. So, not saying that we evolved from animals, but I'm saying the similarity between humanity and animals is what the picture is supposed to display. Um, so to better understand human emotions, right? It doesn't take a genius. Um, Whenever there's a product that's being created, it's first tested on animals. That's no secret. People have known that for years already. They test it on animals. You want to know why they test it on animals? Because us and animals are not that much different. You know, we study animals, because they give us a better understanding of ourselves, our our creature instincts to ourselves, right? Why we do what we do, or why things are the way that they are. But it seems that one thing that people cannot understand or wrap their heads around, or even with the knowledge that we have, have been able to battle, is our emotions, right? It's one thing that animals struggle with as well. It's what makes them animals, what makes us humans. We have a better understanding, but that doesn't mean that we have mastered it or have it all in the bag. When it comes to our emotions, you see animals, right? Especially a mother or father, whenever they have their cubs, they're young, they're very aggressive. It's best not to get near them because they will attack. You know what I mean? They don't play around. Showing they have, and you can see from their face expressions, their body language, and everything like that, that they get happy when their kids are around. You see them being playful, and you see them how they attack when other animals get near. So they protect their own, showing that they have emotions, right? While people think that they're just these rabid animals and stuff like that, like lions. No, but it shows that with their cub, they show different, types of emotions, showing that they care, that they do have emotions, just like humans do with our children. And then how there's some animals that attack their kids, as soon as they see them, they attack, showing that there has to be some, mental defect with that animal. Same with humans too, why there's some people that are psychopaths or do the things that they do. You know what I mean? Um, but something triggers that, right? A certain events, trauma is a big factor, because even animals get traumatized. You see it more with dogs, or you see these footage of these people who have these animals in a circus, who abuse the animals. They you know insult them, they hit them, they do all kinds of stuff to the animal, creating an animal to have trauma, right? They're afraid, they cower in the corner and cry, or they become very aggressive whenever they see another human get close, because they're so used to them getting attacked that they're just not having it. You know what I mean? And as soon as he gets free, he's gonna go on a melee. So we understand what trauma can do, right? And since a young age, people who ever owned a dog understand this. If you ever owned a dog and the dog, was abused as he was a pup or whatever, he grows up to be a pretty vicious dog. You know what I mean? You don't want to be near that dog. That's why some dogs attack and stuff like that, because you understand that trauma that you says as a pup is going to take an effect towards adulthood. Same with human beings as well. When a kid suffers from a traumatic event, he's going to turn into a troubled adult. I mean, the studies have shown, you see it in animals, you know what I mean? You see our similarity with our young, with our kids, pues, or how they mingle around, their pack, their herd. You see, you those who, or I'm pretty sure people can see and notice, the interaction between animals and the similarities that it has with humanity itself, people. And you can see where, like, let's say back then, where people could grab some of these ideas, right? Like our great great ancestors from, whether Neanderthal or whatever, them just studying other animals and how they interact and how they do their thing, to how they, run around with theirs. You know what I mean? And obviously, of course, you see it in other animals like lions, the biggest and most dominant one that attacks and is vicious and ruthless. Tends to be the king of the jungle, right? The one you see everybody pretty much bow down to the lion, and or to other animals who are more, more superior, and because of their ruthlessness and savageness. And these guys, just watching it, you could get an idea where some of these people would get the idea to be, vicious themselves, or because of our emotions, feel sympathy towards others, and why they wouldn't want to go down that path. It has been a battle between good and evil, yin and yang, since as long as back as it can go. You see some Neanderthals who shows blunt force trauma, showing they were struck in the head with something, showing that, murder has been occurring between humanity since as long back as we can go, because you're always going to get individuals who wanna dominate, right? And then you have some who are always going to fight for the greater good. Just like people say that how humans can be so cruel, and we're hopeless because of individuals like Hitler or Saddam Hussein or Osama bin Laden, that they see that humanity there's no hope for humanity. But then it's like, well, you can make the argument where you have individuals like Jesus Christ or Martin Luther King or Cesar Chavez, who fight for the greater good of human rights and human beings. So to say that we're hopeless when there's always an equal counterpart is ridiculous. You know what I mean? But you are going to get individuals like that. It's understanding how they manipulate, why they manipulate, and how they become this way. That is the true key and answer to fixing a lot of the problems in the world, because a lot of people don't understand how important it is to be a parent, or how important it is to be there for our children, and to what we do in front of our children and how we teach our children. Because you just thinking that, oh no, if they try to do what you do and you'll kick their asses, and they won't do it, it's ridiculous. It's not going to work. You see it time and time again when they whip animals or hit animals to try to get them to do what they want. You see that they end up rebelling towards the end, because people get enough of it. It doesn't work. You see it time and time after again when people try to rule or something with an iron fist, right? With domination, with threats, or with brute strength or whatever. Those empires always crumble, right? Because the people get tired of these individuals and they just get overthrown, right? Because who the hell wants to listen to somebody who just wants to be, beating on them and mistreating them? Nobody. You know what I mean? You may be able to have your hands on the kingdom for a short amount of time, but the story always ends the same, with your demise. These individuals are not able to see that, right? Because they think that, because of their narcissists, they think that they're right, and no one can tell them different, right? Because they make no mistakes according to them. So it's better understanding humans' emotions and why we are the way that we are. Because I always get, people, who say, this guy's dumb. How's he going to compare it to what adults do because of their actions when they're kids, when most of us don't remember when we were kids? People remember traumatic events. They mold and shape our personas growing up. They really do. You know what I mean? We watch and we learn. As human beings, that is how we have learned through so many centuries, by just observing. Observing is how we were able to grasp the knowledge that we have now, right? Just by observing. Babies, that's how they learn to do things, right? Because they're not in school. Babies are not in school yet. They learn how to talk and eat and all that as children, just by observing, right? And obviously us playing a factor there too ourselves. But how important it is to continue playing those roles when they become, to their adolescents or toddlers, or to young youths and stuff like that, right? They need their parents' guidance, and it's important, you're there to guide them, right, the right way. And don't think that certain things that you do or say can hurt them, because telling a kid that they're no sirves para nada, pendejo, estúpido, baboso, uh, pinche feo. All of those things are words and stuff that should never be told to a child by their parents. They look up to you. You're their role models, their idols. So it's the people who are everything to them. And the last thing they want to hear from the people that they put so high up is them telling them that they're useless or pathetic and all that. And even though you can say, oh, I didn't mean it, I love you and everything, it comes to the point where you say it so much that the kid's not going to believe and thinks that you're just saying it just to say it, but that you really do think that he's stupid and useless and stuff like that. Especially if they're not succeeding in academics or sports or something like that, they're really going to believe what you're telling them is true, right? That maybe they are right. Maybe I am good for nothing and stuff like that. Especially in the mark of puberty, when they are not able to control their emotions because of all the new hormones that they're experiencing. Now it amplifies their, how could I say, the thoughts, right? Those thoughts is being amplified now. So that's even worse when you come at them at that stage of their lives. You know what I mean? And I know people say that words can hurt you, whatever, but they really could, bro. It depends who they're coming from. You know what I mean? That's why a kid should never hear those words come out of their parents' mouth. No matter how mad you are, those are things you should never tell the child. Remember, you're the adult, they're the kid. So act like one, behave like one. Understand that your common sense is not the same as their common sense. Have patience. I'm not saying to be lenient and don't apply no punishments and stuff like that, but do it the right way, by not insulting, but communication and understanding why they must be punished and stuff like that, right? But not calling them and insulting them and belittling them. That's not going to work. You're going to get nothing out of that. They're just going to resent you. Just like animals, Like I said, the similarities between humans and animals is, evident. All you really do just have to do is observe, and you can see what I'm talking about. Um, you know, But overall, that's overall my opinions when it comes to the whole emotions, and why there's similarity between us and animals when it comes to that, and our young, But what are your guys' thoughts on the matter? Leave it in the comments, and Shadow we out.